Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a September and October reading wrap up. I read 25 books over September and October, so I thought I'd combine them together because I didn't read that much in September, so I thought I'd just mush them together, if that makes sense. So I got my laptop here so that I don't miss any of them, but I actually read some really good books these past 2 months. So I thought I would tell you which ones I read so that I can let you know what I thought of them, what I rated them, any tropes, so that you can get recommendation ideas. So I hope you enjoy. I hope this is helpful, and also let me know if you like this type of video because I will do it in the future for different monthly wrap-ups. So I started September on a bit of an Elle Kennedy kick. So I started with The Graham Effect, which I gave 5 stars. I really liked it. So this is the spin-off of the Off-Campus series. It's a child of Hannah and Garrett, which are the couple in the first book, The Deal, and I did read that later in the month, spoiler alert. But this was so good because it's 2 hockey players and they have a little romance. There's a bit enemies to lovers, but it wasn't just romance. There was a bit of hockey talk, and this is coming from someone, I'm British if you can't tell. Hockey is not a big thing here. Like, I don't know much about hockey. The only knowledge I have of hockey is from reading, and so it was nice. You know, it wasn't like overbearingly hockey, but it was nice that it wasn't just a romance, if that makes sense. So yeah, the tropes were very much enemies to lovers, that type of thing. And then I started with the Off-Campus series because after reading that, I was like, I have to reread the series. I really have to, because I'd read it for the first time in 2021. And so I wanted to relive it as someone a bit older, which I did. I actually vlogged it just in case you want to watch more my live reactions of it. But obviously I started with The Deal first. I actually have them behind me. The Deal's the only one that I have the male cover of, so I was glad to be moving on. But The Deal remained to be my favorite book. It was 5 stars. I'd given it 5 stars the first time and I kept it at 5 stars. Some of them I did change down, but this one stayed at 5 stars because I just love it so much. So for a little like summary, I guess, in case you haven't read it, it's a hockey romance. Garrett is on the hockey team and Hannah is not. She is the female love interest, and Garrett needs help with a class, and so he tries to get Hannah to tutor, and so forced proximity and all that good stuff. And it's also a fake dating trope because Hannah wants to get with another male, and so Garrett is very popular, and so it's like, let's see if we can make this work. So if you like fake dating, it's perfect. And then after that I read The Mistake, which is the second book in the Off-Campus series. This I gave 4 stars. This is my least favorite out of all of them, but this is about Logan and Grace. Logan is on the hockey team again, and Grace is a freshman, and so they have a little romance, and then they they hook up and then they part ways and then they come back together. It's cute. It was my least favorite, but it was still 4 stars. Like, it's obviously still really good, but it just wasn't my absolute fave. Next is The Score, which is about Dean and Allie. This one is my second fave. It's like 4.5, 5 stars. I kept it at 5 stars on Goodreads, but I think it's more of 4.5. Goodreads, please let us do half ratings, I'm begging. But she's just gone through a breakup. She spends a night at the hockey house where the 4 love interests of the books live, and one thing leads to another, her and Dean. It's very cute. I really like them. And then the last one is The Goal. This is a 4 stars. This isn't a spoiler. Well, it's not. It's accidental pregnancy, which I hate so much. I mean, they're really cute, but just the accidental pregnancy isn't great. But then it's obviously forced proximity. This again was a 4 star. And then after that I read The Legacy, which was the 5th book in the Off-Campus series. It didn't come out with the other ones. It came out like 2021-ish. It came out just after I finished reading it the first time, I'm pretty sure. So it's kind of all of them a bit later on. What really annoyed me about this book is that the time frame, some of them are living in a world, but it's set all at the same time. But for some of the couples, it's as if it's been 2 years, and some of them it's as if it's been 3 years, even though it hasn't really, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like, some of them, yeah, don't even get me started, because they all the hockey team graduated at the same time, but for some of them it was as if it had been 2 years since they graduated, and for some it was as if it had been, maybe it was one or 2, I can't remember, but it was really annoying me. So yeah, it was okay. And this is on Kindle Unlimited. And then Honestly, most of the books I read after that, if not all of them, are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, this is the video for you. I love Kindle Unlimited. Then I went straight onto a Frida McFadden kick. I also vlogged this. I was very much in a mood to vlog every book that I read, so I've not done it since. But the first one I read was, what was it called? The Housemaid is Watching. It's from the Housemaid series, which is a really good series. I gave it 4 stars. Frida, I've never given under a 4 stars. It's normally 4 or 5. And this book was good. It followed the same, like the housemaid from the first book. I don't know if you haven't read it then, but very much psychological thriller. But I kind of enjoy switching it up a bit, you know, when you're getting into a reading slump. Frida books very much pull you out of it, so I do recommend it. It's 4 stars. It was a bit different from the first 2 books because she worked as a housemaid in the first 2 books, but in this one she didn't. It was just like in her own house, if that makes sense. Because it's the 3rd book in the series, I'm trying not to spoil it. So yeah, just read the blurb if you want to read it. It's really good though. Then The Locked Door, which I gave 5 stars. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm just checking my ratings. Again, on Kindle Unlimited. All of her books I read were on Kindle Unlimited. This one was so good. I think this was my favorite out of the ones that I read that week. So this isn't a spoiler, this is kind of what the blurb tells you. The main character, her dad was a serial killer and is in prison, and he had a certain technique for killing people, and suddenly that same technique is being used, and so the police are questioning her, especially because the people involved are related to her in some way, like they're her patients because she's a doctor. So it's not looking great. And Frida, she always does plot twists. Always. You never see it coming. Even though I've read so many books of hers, still I'm always like, really good. I really liked that book. Then I read The Inmate, which I gave 4 stars. I mean, which is obviously still really good. I think the issue with this and also the next book is the characters were stupid, which then just annoys you because it's like, why are you doing this? But basically there'd been this incident when the main character was younger. Well, what's her name? I don't know literally any characters' names, but I probably should just tell you. It makes the storytelling easier. Brooke. Okay. So when Brooke was in high school, she was with her boyfriend and some friends in this cabin. It was one of the boys' houses. Her boyfriend, yeah, it was her boyfriend at the time. And suddenly a lot of them ended up dead. And it was like, who did it? And it was kind of decided that it was her boyfriend just because that made the most sense. All evidence pointed to him, so he's in prison. Brooke has moved away and she's now moved back to the town because she's now got a job working in the prison as a nurse. She had to move back because her parents, I think her parents had died, or yeah. Well, the house was left her, so they must have died. I can't remember. So she's now back in that town and she's working at the prison where her ex is a prisoner, so you can imagine. And she also has a son, which obviously complicates things. Then I read The Teacher, which was a 5 stars. This, again, main characters are very stupid, but I did just like the plot twists very much. So let me find the names of the characters again. So Eve is a teacher, Addie is a student. Addie had this situation with one of the ex-teachers, which ended up in him getting fired. So some of the teachers are a bit like, and Eve now teaches Addie. But Eve's husband also works at the school and he teaches Addie, and he kind of takes Addie under his wing. There's a lot of complications, a lot of affairs, killings, a lot of resentment that's been built up. It was very good. But Addie and Eve are both some of the dumbest people you will ever meet. So yeah, if you get infuriated by dumb people, maybe don't read it. Then next is The Perfect Son. I gave it a 4 stars, although I imagine it was more of a 4.5 because I remember really liking it. So the son owes, you know, the reason for the title is Liam, and he's always been a bit odd, bit kind of violent tendencies, and a girl goes missing after she goes on a date with Liam. The police come round because he was seen at her house kind of very soon before, and so you're following the story. You're wondering if it was Liam, if it wasn't Liam, because he's very much denying it. And you also get the point of view of the girl, and I cannot remember her name for the life of me, of her kind of being, I guess, kidnapped. She doesn't give away who it is, if that makes sense. So then I read The Sin Bin by Anastasia White. I gave this 1 stars. I DNF'd it, but I will always, so it says here I started reading on the 3rd of October and I stopped on the 8th of October, so I was reading it for 5 days. So if I've been reading a book for more than 2 days, even if I DNF it, I will add it to my yearly challenge because I spent time on it. if I just start reading a book and that same day I DNF it, I will not include it because, you know, but if I've dedicated my time, it's going on there. So it was awful. I honestly can't even, oh wait, I can't remember. Oh my god, it was very much like, I'm the alpha, I'm the leader of this school, you know, you've wronged me and now you're going to be ousted. Like, yeah, it was just awful. And so also that shows, I read how many books? I read 9. Oh, I read 10 in September. So I read 10 in September and then the rest are in October because I was on holiday in October. So, and the October ones, very good. Very, very, very good. So I started with Mile High by Liz Tomford. Oh my god. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I think it's a 4.5. This, like, forced proximity. So this is about Stevie and Xander's. Xander's works for the basketball, well, he doesn't work for me, he plays for the basketball team. This is editing Amelia. I didn't mean basketball team, he plays for the hockey team. I do realise later on in the clip, but it's hockey, not basketball. So just pretend I never said that and pretend that I said hockey. In Chicago. And Stevie is the flight attendant on the private jet. Lots of forced proximity. She immediately is irritated by him, and they also have a non-fraternization policy, but you can imagine where things lead. Very, very, very good. So it's very much enemies to lovers. I hate everyone in the world but you. Forced proximity. I love it so much. Sports romance, obviously, because he's a basketball player, and also workplace romance. And it was also dual POV, if you like that. I do enjoy that, and it was on Kindle Unlimited. This whole series was. I think the rest of the books, like I'd said at the start, were on Kindle Unlimited, which we love to see. Then the next book was The Right Move, which, oh my god. So Ryan is the male love interest and he is Stevie from the first book's brother, and the girl is Indy, and Indy is Stevie's co-worker. She also works on the plane. Ryan is a basketball player. Wait, Ryan's a basketball player, so what sport did these guys do? Hockey. Sorry, the first book was hockey. Ryan's basketball. And Indy has just broken up with her boyfriend. She is out of a place to live. Stevie suggests that she goes to live with Ryan because she's just moved out of Ryan's house. So Indy is now living with Ryan. He is very closed off, very private, and so you can imagine him having a stranger, practically a stranger, living with him. He's not the biggest fan, but they make it work. So very much forced proximity, also very much found family. This is so cute. I want to hug Ryan so bad, and Indy. All of them, they're just so cute. Oh my god. But yeah, very much grumpy sunshine. Indy is the sunshine. Ryan is the grumpy. Forced proximity, found family. Next is Caught Up, and I gave this 4 stars. Although all of them were like 4.5 stars, I think, apart from The Right Move, which was 5 stars. And oh my god, this book, I just remembered it. Oh my god, I loved it so much. Okay, so Kai is a single dad and they play baseball, and Miller is forced to become his babysitter because he is a professional baseball player. He cannot be with his child all the time because the child's, I think, under 2, so a young child. And Miller is also the coach's, or I don't quite know what the dad was. He was like a coach, like a manager thing for the team. He's important. She's his son. She's his daughter, obviously. She's not his son. I don't know why I said that. So there's a bit of that. And Kai does not. He does not want her to be the babysitter because he's just like, you're too much, you're too young, you're too crazy. And she, oh my god, I forgot to say this. She is actually a chef. She's a very like famous chef in this little world, but she's taking a break before she goes back to do this like big interview. She like helps these restaurants get Michelin stars, like she's a big deal, but she's just taking a break because there was a guy that was inappropriate at the last place she worked, so she's taking a break until September. So over summer she's working for them, and it's just, oh, so good. Very much found family again, and obviously forced proximity again, single parent, but we already know that. And then next is Play Along. I'm having to check their names again. Kennedy and Isaiah. Oh, I actually don't know how, if that's not how you say his name, I'm so sorry. So Kennedy is the physio at the baseball club. Isaiah is Kai's brother. So yeah, and they're also on the same baseball team. Kennedy is a physio, but she's overqualified, and Isaiah is the only one on the team that knows. They both end up in Vegas as a coincidence, and they get married, and they agree to stay married because if they don't stay married, then one of them is going to be fired, and it's kind of obviously going to be Kennedy because she's the physio, she's not like a star player. So if they have to let one go, they're unfortunately going to let her go. So marriage of convenience, fake dating, forced proximity, very much found family is perfect. And then I got into the Elsie Silver universe, which I love her writing so much, and I just found out that she has another series which I didn't appreciate, so you best believe I'm gonna be adding that. I hope it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I started with the Chestnut Springs series, then I went on to Rose Hill, which is kind of the progression that you do it. So Chestnut Springs, first book was Flawless. I gave it 4 stars. It was so good. So Flawless is about Summer and Rhett. Rhett is a bull rider. I don't really know. I don't kind of get that, but anyway. And Summer is assigned to be kind of his babysitter because Rhett's reputation's just been ruined. And Rhett's manager is Summer's dad, and Summer works at kind of the, I guess, like management company. She has to, I guess, babysit him, help improve his reputation, and in the process they obviously fall in love. He's a bit older than her, and she actually had a poster of him up in her room when she was a child. He was like a teenager, so there's a bit of, you know, love there. And also Rhett is from the Eaton family. Chestnut Springs series kind of follows the Eaton family, and they're like the family of the town in it's in Canada. I don't really know where. In Chestnut Springs is like I think it's near Vancouver, I believe. I don't know why he did that, but yeah. Enemies to lovers, forced proximity, workplace, obviously it's so good. Then next is Heartless, Willa and Cade. I gave it 4 stars, but it was definitely 4.5 stars, and I actually think about these two the most out of any of them. Like, this book I do keep thinking about. Cade is a single dad. He was left by his wife, ex-wife now, with this little boy who I think he's like 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's like not a baby, and he needs help with a nanny because he works on the ranch. So he's the oldest Eaton boy, so he's Rhett's brother, and he needs a nanny whilst he works because he's like he runs the show basically. And Willa is Summer's best friend, so Summer from the last book, Willa and her are best friends, and so Summer's like, oh my god, my friend Willa can do it. And also Cade and Willa had a little encounter in a coffee shop which made Cade think like, this girl is crazy. So yeah, but she moves in with them to be the nanny, so it's forced proximity, obviously. Single dad, kind of enemies to lovers because at first they're like, and he's kind of rude to her at first. Next is Powerless. This was my favorite. This was 1000% my favorite. It was Jasper and Sloane. I hope I say all these people's names right. I think I am. Jasper plays hockey, so I think he plays in Vancouver, which is why I got the Vancouver thing. He plays in a big Canadian city, but I think it's Vancouver. And so Sloane is the cousin of the Eatons, so obviously you see how it kind of runs into the universe. Jasper ended up living with the Eatons when he got to like high school, just because of something that happened with his family, you find out in the book. And so he's basically an Eaton brother, but obviously Sloane's like, no he's not, because that would make her his cousin, which obviously there's no blood relation, don't worry, but they're all like, we're not cousins. So yeah, and it's kind of second chance romance. She's a ballet dancer, he is a hockey player. It's so cute. Childhood friends, found family, because Jasper kind of come into the Eaton family. It's just so good. I love it so much. Then we've got Reckless, which is Winter and Theo. So Theo is a bull rider like Rhett. He's like Rhett's prodigy, is how you say that word. And Winter is ironically Summer's sister. They're stepsisters, but they're very much kind of, there's a divide between them. They are mending it by this point, but they're very much, my mum just called me. I actually don't know what I was saying, but yeah, Winter and Summer are sisters. Theo is a prodigy, yeah. And they actually hooked up, and Winter had the baby, and she thought she told Theo, but kind of miscommunication about it. So she's raised this baby on her own, but she's also moved to the small town that the Eatons live in, so to be near her sister and everything. So it's second chance, found family. It's really cute. Not too much to say about that one. And then last is Hopeless, which was Beau and Bailey. So Beau is the second Eaton brother out of the 3. He's the second oldest, and Bailey works in the bar. This is very much age gap. He's like, I don't know, but she's I think 22 and I think he's like 35 or something. Maybe he's just 30, but I don't know, he's kind of older. And it's fake dating. They make an arrangement because Bailey's reputation is not good. Beau's is, he was in the army. They're really cute. I like them. I was really excited for his book. He kind of let me down. The book was good, but I don't know. It was just, there was something about it that I didn't love. I think it might be my least favourite, but I really liked Beau in the other book, so I was really excited. So yeah, that rounded off the Chestnut Spring series, and then it was the Rose Hill series. There's only 2 of the books out right now, but I read Wild Love first because that's the first one, and that's Ford and Rosie. So Ford is Willa's brother, Willa from the second book, who had a romance with Cade. This is her brother, and they're in Rose Hill, the town, so it's just like a town over, it's like a little bit away. And Rosie is Ford's best friend's sister, so we all know how that ends up, and she's just moved back to town. He is famous. He is a producer, I believe. I mean, he's famous for like lots of different things, but he is also a producer. So he's setting up this, I guess, like music, think like Long Pond Studios, that type of thing. Basically it is basically Long Pond Studios. He builds it, he's setting it up. Rosie starts working there because she needs a job, and he's like, well, because they kind of had a thing when they were younger, and like they never dated, but it was like a thing. Oh my god, and I almost forgot this, he suddenly has this daughter sprung on him, so she's kind of single parenting it, and it's workplace, enemies to lovers, kind of second chance, kind of childhood friends, brother's best friend. And then Wild Eyes was West and Skylar. So West is Ford's best friend and Rosie's brother, and Skylar is this famous singer who's coming to the Long Pond Studios of Rose Hill, and she's kind of run away. She needs a break. She needs to kind of make it on her own, make music on her own, music that she wants to make, and Ford's going to help her do that. And she ends up, but she kind of turns up out of the blue. The houses for the artists to stay in aren't ready yet, so she ends up staying in the little like cabin on West's property, which Rosie was staying in but isn't anymore. And West is a single dad. The wife, like the ex-wife, is in the picture. They split up, but like joint custody, so, and they're friendly, don't you worry. And the kids are so cute. I love them so much. I don't know them, but I love them. Kind of one of us is famous, single parent, forced proximity, small town. Oh, I literally forgot to say all of them are small town romances. I don't know how I forgot to say that. Maybe I did say that. I don't know. So yeah, that was a big, long set of books. And now I've only got 2 books left of the video. So first was Say You Swear. Now this book, I started reading it and I DNF'd it. I then went on Goodreads to remove it from currently reading because I'd only started reading it for a day. And I was like, everyone loves this book. People who I follow on TikTok, who I also follow on Goodreads, have reviewed it and they were like, this is the best book ever. And I was like, well, I gotta keep reading it. Let me just say, Noah, I think about him all the time. He's the best book boyfriend ever, and Ari's cute as well, but Noah, oh my god. So Ari has a twin brother, Mason, and they kind of have a group of friends. Some of Mason's friends, some of Ari's friends, and they're like childhood friends, they're best friends. They go into college together, but they have this summer house that they go to for the summer. And what is this boy called? Chase. Chase is a boy that Ari has always had a crush on, and he's Mason's best friend, and so Chase has always been like, no. They hook up, it goes badly, Ari leaves, fleds back home, and then in college doesn't kind of communicate with them, and then suddenly she meets this boy Noah, who, oh my god, he's like the best guy you've ever met. I am obsessed with him. He's so sweet. Oh my god, I love him. I do think about him since I've been reading the book. Like every day I'm like, that's the man I need. That is a boyfriend that I would like to have. Out of every book boyfriend I've ever read about, he's the one that I love. So yeah, and he's on the, what do they play, football, I think, American football. He's on the football team with Ari's brother and best friends, and it's kind of love triangles. A lot of things go wrong, a lot of things are pulling them apart. I cried quite a bit, and it's also a long book. It's like 500 something pages, but so I'll just read you the tropes that I tagged it as on Goodreads. College, dual POV, faves. This is the first book to go in my faves folder in a very long time. Found family, love triangle, and sports. And then the last book was Promise Me Not. So this was Mason, as in Ari's twin brother, and what was she called? Peyton. Peyton has had a baby, and this isn't a spoiler because this is shared like within the first 20 pages of the first book. Her boyfriend Deaton dies in a car crash after he came to see her, so she's now living in this seaside town that their summer house is in. Mason then gets injured and he comes back to kind of recover because he's not allowed to play football, so he's like, well, I don't want to be on the college campus. Peyton and him strike up and he becomes like the baby's father, and it's really cute, although it was just kind of too slow for me. I only gave it 3 stars. I think it was like 3.5, but it was good. Kind of not the best way to end off the month, but yeah. And I'm now reading Magnolia Park's series, which I'm obsessed with. It's filling like my Gossip Girl love. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this type of video. I have kind of been dabbling with the reading videos because I really enjoy watching them, so I thought I might as well try and make some. So yeah, please let me know if you like this. I am doing vlogmas in December, which is a month away. I am planning it very much so. There's a timetable, you know, I'm prepared, I think, so I'm excited because otherwise I don't think I'd manage to do it, but I'm very much planning. So if you want any book videos and that, like my November reading wrap up, please let me know, because next week I'm going away for a week of volunteering and it's in the Lake District, like in the middle of nowhere, so I imagine the service isn't going to be very good. I imagine I'm going to be reading a lot. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong. So yeah, I imagine a lot of reading will be done then, so I think my November reading wrap up hopefully will be good. So let me know if you want me to post that as part of Vlogmas. Also, please let me know any of the videos you want to see for Vlogmas. I'm doing the obvious gift ideas, so wish list ideas, redecorating my room for Christmas. I'm also going to do a cleaning my room before I redecorate because it's kind of a tip in here. I might do Christmas book recommendations. I'm thinking I'm also right before Christmas going to be doing a what I'm gifting. I'm going to have to do it right before Christmas because obviously I'm getting the presents up, so that will more be helpful for you guys next year. Sorry, but I actually really enjoy watching those videos. Caroline Manning does it. She definitely did it last year and I'm sure she's done it before, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool type of video, seeing what people are actually buying, so I am going to do that. A few more things, but if there are any things that you want to do, maybe a baking video, I'll see. So yeah, but I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Goodbye.